to read.
Oh, yes, we did. That's right. Thank you, Meredith. Someone needs to read the announcement about the virtual meeting.
Oh.
And then do the roll call.
Do you have that, Robert?
Yeah, I'm sure I do somewhere. I don't know.
I don't have it right here in front of me either. Meredith, do you have a copy you could throw up there and I can just read it?
I don't, unfortunately. I can see if I can find one from another meeting. Hold on.
Did Rachel know something?
Yeah, she couldn't be here today.
Yeah,
So
she usually gives it to Haley, and Haley's not here, so I'm trying to pull through it. I've got one that we can use.
Okay, just make sure you change the dates or whatever.
Yeah, it's essentially a call to order, so I won't call to order. But good afternoon, Public Assembly Facilities Commission. Due to the shelter-in-place order, all members of the Public Assembly Facilities Commission are participating virtually. For virtual meetings, commission members will be muted until asked to be heard. At that time, they will be recognized and will be unmuted. When there is a vote, it will be necessary to take a roll call vote. A commission member will be recognized and will raise their hand and state their vote. Today's meeting is a public meeting per the notice posted. Citizens can listen to the meeting if they contact the city manager's office to make necessary arrangements. A recording of today's meeting will be available by Friday on the city's website, cityofws.org/964/Public Assembly Facilities Commission.
Very good.
okay, I'll go ahead and do a roll call.
Okay.
Haley Jingles. Otis Northington.
Present.
Billy Rich.
Present.
Jim Rose. Manya Stewart. Kathleen Garber. Vicki Miller. Lisa Strout.
Present.
Ray Bowden.
Present.
I guess next we can welcome our new commission members, Lisa Strout and Ray Bowden.
Yeah. So I want to welcome Lisa and Ray to the commission. Would you all mind just taking a couple minutes and just let the rest of the commission members know a little bit about yourselves? Start with Lisa.
Sure. I am a fairly recent transplant here to Winston. I have lived in many places around the country. I used to be in event management in the wine industry in California. But for the last 20 years, I've been a full-time artist. So my husband and I have had the first opportunity of moving all over the place. This is the first opportunity we have had to actually choose where we're going to live because he works from home now. And so we picked Winston-Salem, and we've been here for about 3 years, and we absolutely love it.
Very good. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Ray?
Yes, sir. Ray Bowden, I believe I've lived here for 8 years now. I'm the Assistant Tournament Director of the Winston-Salem Open, the Director of the Winston-Salem Cycling Classic, the producer of the Gears and Guitars Music Festival. I moved here from Los Angeles, not a native to there, grew up in Georgia, outside of Atlanta. I studied economics in school, went to Villanova sports law, and am a current MIT finance major.
Thank you, Ray. I also wanted, before we move on, I wanted to share with the rest of the commission members. I can't remember if Jill copied everybody, but Jill did submit her resignation from the commission here a week or so ago. Just I think she's in a new position, and just feels like that she couldn't invest the time, I guess, with the commission. So we really appreciate her service to the commission, because I believe she served, she was in her second term on the commission, and just appreciate her participation and her contributions. So we'll relay, staff will relay that information to the mayor's office, and we'll work on identifying an appointment for her seat.
I think we've got another call-in user. Can you let me know who you are?
It's Manya.
Hey, Manya.
How y'all doing?
Okay, I think we have quorum now.
We got 5.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Go back to the minutes then. I'll run with this one. So the minutes from the October 19th, 2020 meeting, are there any edits or revisions to those minutes? If not, I would entertain a motion for approval.
Move for approval.
Is that Billy?
As Otis, a second.
All right. Okay. We'll do a roll call vote on that. Cheryl?
Yes. Otis for approval.
Sorry, it broke up. There's some noise in the background. Approved.
Billy.
Yes.
Manya.
Yes.
Lisa Strout.
Abstain.
Staying. Okay.
And Ray Bowden.
Approved.
Okay.
Okay, that was 4, 0, and 1.
Yes.
Approved and 1 abstention.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next item on the agenda is reappointments to the Fair Planning Committee. Cheryl, you want to present those?
Yes. The only reappointment we have at this time is Kim Gresley, and she is up for her second term for the Fair Planning Committee.
Cheryl, why don't you give a little background on Kim?
Kim is an extension agent with Forsyth County. She's actually director of the extension office, heavily involved in the livestock and all extension activities with the fair and agricultural events.
Okay.
This will be her second term.
What's the length of the term for Fair Planning Committee?
I believe it's 2 years.
Okay.
Ben, I'm just not up on that end of it without Rachel's notes. Sorry.
Any questions, comments about the reappointment? I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Motion to approve reappointment.
That's a motion for approval. Have a second?
Second.
Do a second.
Who was that?
Billy.
Billy. Okay.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Just doing approval. Roll call. Otis,
Approved.
Billy,
Yes.
Manya, did we lose Manya? We'll come back. Maybe she'll get back on. Lisa Strout
Approved.
and Ray.
Approve.
Okay, I think we lost Manya in there. How do we need to note that?
Okay. Okay. All right. Next time on the agenda, presentation on the reopening of the Annex ice rink. Robert, you want to go over that?
Yep, I will. Lisa Stroud, if you don't mind, could you mute your mic? I think you've got some humming in the background.
There's something wrong with this. I can't get in. I'm going to go in and out. I'll come back.
Okay. So for the group here, this is very identical to last month's ice rink plan. There was the changes that you as a committee recommended clarifying that we went through, and then also with the governor's order, didn't necessarily change what we're doing, but obviously the limit went from 25 people to 10 for any mass gathering pieces. So we just made that number change as it applied to the order here. So I'll still briefly go over this. Our general guidelines for staff is to not come to work. All staff will be tested with temperature check and or health and safety screening questions prior to working any of the public skating events. All employees must wear face masks upon entering the building and then wear them at all times inside the building. We encourage non-congregation of groups. And one of the pieces we changed here, which is really a similar piece, but we just changed how we worded it. Under the current phase, skating rinks and I believe gyms can open to 30% capacity. So we went back through and just changed it from the skate rental number. And we talked with John Lawson, Assistant City Attorney, and we looked at what some other rinks were doing. And we still set our ice rink capacity to 300, which means our current limit will be 90 skaters. So that didn't change. That just went from the skate piece to just the limit of the rink as a whole, to get any confusion out there as the orders may change. So as you go down, we're going to require anyone in the building, public, staff, guests, anyone in the building's got to wear a mask. If you're in the building during public hours, you need to be wearing a mask. The only exemption to that would be hockey players or figure skaters when they are walking straight to the ice from the locker room, and then when they're on the ice. Any general public that is doing public skating activities still has to wear a mask on the ice. It was determined that the hockey event and or figure skating is considered exerting or exertion, how it's defined in the governor's order, so they do not have to wear a mask while they're on the ice. So I mean, I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell. There's some other clarities here on that hockey and figure skating versus other private rentals. So if another group decided to come, we did change that limit down to 10. So if you wanted to bring your business out and do a private rental, you could only bring 10 people, and you must all wear masks at all times on the ice. And one other piece that I'll touch that we did in between here last week after we opened, we worked with the folks from Shield, who is they're a cleaning company outside of I believe Thomasville, and they typically clean the locker rooms for us. Well, we partnered with the Thunderbirds and them to do a surface cleaning of all facility touch points. So any shelves, counters, skates, door handles, that was all sprayed down and cleaned with a surface-wise treatment, which actually is said for up to 90 days to kill envelope viruses on contact. So that is in place, and that was applied last week. And so just a little extra safety precaution that was put in there. That is not a replacement for us regularly cleaning and wiping down those surfaces as well after each public skating session. Right now, what we did with public skating sessions is they are hour-and-a-half long increments compared to last year, where we had some public skating sessions that would go from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now they're in hour-and-a-half blocks because of the capacity limits, and then it gives us time to clean the facility in between the next session. So that's kind of where we're at, and that's everything in a nutshell. If there's any questions, let me know.
Okay, any questions, comments?
Hey, Robert, the website says it opened November 6th, so it's open now?
Correct.
On the, if you would, just take a look when you can on the website,
Yep.
schedule, and maybe my browser's a problem, but the schedule, the first scheduled date showing open is Friday the 20th. So it doesn't show that it's open today through the end of the week. I don't know.
Yeah, so it updates as we go. So once the open event is passed, it goes away. So we don't have any public skating Monday through Thursday right now. So the next available public skate would be Friday.
Makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Otis. Okay, any other comments, questions about the reopening plan for the rink? Okay, next item on the agenda is review the proposed meeting dates for the Public Assembly Facility Commission for 2021. If there are no questions, we'll go ahead and formally adopt those for next year. I'll entertain a motion.
For approval, move for approval.
Okay, is that Billy?
Yep.
Second?
This is mine. I second.
Okay. All right, Cheryl, if you'll do the roll call.
Okay. Otis,
Approved.
Billy,
Approve.
Manya,
Approved.
Lisa,
Approved.
Ray,
Approved.
Okay, thank you. So yes, so you all typically meet the third Monday of the month. Okay, we'll move on to staff updates. I've got a number of updates to share with you. The first one we'll start out with is an update on the Benton and the reopening of the Benton. And so I'm going to recognize Grant, who's going to share with us a new video that's been produced to promote the reopening of the Benton. Grant?
In October, we got with city marketing and Ed and his team, and we've put together a Benton is Back video, and we have now sent that out all over Facebook, Instagram. It's on the TCQ website now, which is linked to the city's website. So we are very excited of the way it came out, and I'm not sure who has the link to play it. Is it Meredith or is it?
I do.
Okay, Meredith, let's roll the video and then we can talk about it afterwards.
Hi, I'm Grant Mannix, Director of Operations here at the Benton Convention Center. Times have certainly changed, but we assure you that your health and safety are a top priority when you meet here at the Benton. Today, we will hear from Twin City Quarter Group Sales Manager Floyd Isley and visit Winston-Salem's National Sales Manager Alex Collins. Floyd will go into detail on the precautions being taken for our Marriott guests during their stay. Also, Alex will review the various hybrid meeting room setups, social distancing protocols at the 105,000 square foot Benton Convention Center. Last but not least, our very own chef, Dion Sprinkle, will walk us through what to expect from the catering side. No meeting or convention is complete without food. Winston-Salem is poised and ready to welcome you back to the Benton. We look forward to your next meeting in our hip and historic city.
Hi, I'm Alex Collins, Visit Winston-Salem's National Sales Manager.
And I'm Floyd Isley, Twin City Quarters Group Sales Manager.
So Floyd, tell us about the Marriott's Trust and Preparedness Plan.
So Marriott is engaging in some safety protocols for our guests to keep them safe while they're in the building. Some of those include masks at all times while you're in the building, and that applies to both hotel guests and social distancing throughout the space. You'll see markings on the floor as well as signs in the elevators that indicate either 2 guests or 1 family at a time. In addition to that, we're also frequently cleaning high-touch areas. So whether it's the front door, it's the front desk, it's the elevator buttons, it's really monitoring all those places continuously and making sure they're clean. Using EPA-approved sanitizers throughout the building. Lastly, you've got our option for your 3rd night stay, meaning that your hotel guest room isn't cleaned until the 3rd night unless you request otherwise, reducing the number of folks who are in and out of the room during their stay.
One of the the Benton Convention Center is its direct connectivity to the 319-room, newly renovated Marriott Hotel. So you can just take the Sky Bridge right over Cherry Street into the Convention Center, or if you're more comfortable, you can just walk across the street, and that way you can have that outdoor access as well. The Convention Center is attached to the Marriott, as well as another full-service property, making it 465 guest rooms that are directly connected into the Convention Center, as well as over 1,200 hotel rooms in the downtown area. Well, we've had over a $2 billion investment in our downtown recently. We have over 120 restaurants, craft breweries, shopping, eateries, bakeries. There's everything from fine dining at a French brasserie as well. So any palate that you'd like to enjoy here in downtown Winston-Salem, the Benton is only steps away.
Here we are in the Benton Convention Center in the Winston-Salem Ballroom, and we're hoping you'll tell us a little bit about this meeting room setups.
Absolutely. So here we have set up a panel-style discussion. So you have your stage, your AV, and ample social distancing for the 2 panels to sit up front, as well as your crescent rounds with 3 chairs per round, allowing for that 6-foot distance between each chair, and of course, each distance between each round.
Well, you'll notice the AV setup behind me allows for some flexibility with the meeting space. So you've got multiple screens offering the option to not only showcase your presenters, whether they're in person or virtual, but also giving the audience an opportunity to participate, again, either remotely or on. We can also use some of the remote AV abilities to set up flow seating, additional meeting spaces, allowing you to expand the size of your to fit your needs.
So we also have the capability to set up your room in any way you need it to be set up. Here we have classroom style with 1 chair per 6-foot table.
Another style. In this room, each chair is set at least 6 feet apart to allow for the social distancing. With this setup, you have the same capacity per as you would have for a classroom style setup.
Anything we can do to be flexible and set it up your meeting for whatever you need, we can do so at the Benton Convention Center.
You have 2 options to meet your trade show. The one here are the 10 by 10 standard booths, the taller draped between them. Option 2 is going to be a 10 by 10 booth with.
I believe we might be having some technical challenges.
Guess we can just send out the link to all the commission members, and that way you'll be able to see. It's about an eight-minute video. As you can see, it shows all sorts of meeting space and food.
With you, for you.
Yeah, we'll send it to everybody.
And, you know, it's important for you to share that all out on your social media as well. The more people that we get out there, the better. So as you receive the video link, I would appreciate that if you send it out to all your friends on Facebook and all those type things, just so that we can get the word out that the Benton is back.
Yep. It's a very well done video. Really, we're very proud of it. Okay, next update concerns the Grand Pavilion Conference Center space. That is there's space underneath the Embassy Suites across from the Benton, large ballroom, and then some conference center meeting room spaces that the city actually owns, kind of going back to 2004 when the city entered into a public-private partnership with the, at the time, the new owners of the Marriott and the Embassy Suites. The city purchased, you know, that space and renovated that space. And we're at a point now where we really need to make an investment in refreshing the space so that we can kind of restore it to our inventory and start marketing that space once we're able to, you know, host large meeting events. The plan is to really kind of brand it as part of the Benton, so it's one kind of continuous space coming from the Benton. The mayor and the city council have already approved $1,565,000 in funding for this project, and so that's going to include new carpet, new paint, new light fixtures, and also modernizing the elevator there that comes off of the sky between the Marriott and the Embassy Suites. But the city owns that elevator, so we're going to modernize it as part of the project as well. I will share with you that the city is right now will be in discussions with the owners of the Embassy Suites Hotel. We have sent them a letter of default. They are supposed to have been leasing the city space under the Embassy Suites from the city, and they are in arrears by, well, I think now it's probably close to $700,000. And so we're taking the steps to put them in default. And so probably what's going to happen over the coming months is a change in the management of that space, where we'll be looking to have HVNG, Hospitality Ventures Management Group, which currently operates the Benton for the city, take over management of that space as well. And we'll just, I'll keep you all updated about where that part of the process is. But I certainly wanted to share with you all that we are planning to go into that space and you know, refresh it and make I think a significant investment in that space, and we're excited about that. And so just want to give you an update on that. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Ben, I have a quick question. It's Ray.
Yes.
If it's the correct space that I'm thinking of, I believe the Piedmont Craftsman or whatever, the Christmas sale thing, you know, the Christmas event and the art thing, is the only event that I've been to in that space. How many events annually have been held in that space?
Grant, you want to help me with that?
Actually, the Piedmont Craftsman is actually held here in the Benton. The space that Mr. Rowell's speaking of is where the ice skating rink used to be here many years ago. It's the Grand Pavilion Ballroom up underneath the parking deck on Cherry Street. There was a flood probably, I don't know, 2 years ago that the space underneath the Embassy Suites took a big hit, and it has not been used as well since the Benton has reopened in 2017. So it is, the space is not being utilized at this point at all.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, we'll move on to the Carolina Classic Fair.
Thank you, Ben. Well, at this time, we are moving forward with all of our planning aspects for the 2021 Carolina Classic Fair. Those dates are October the 1st through the 10th. We're in the process of setting up meetings and brainstorming sessions with Bella, our advertising agent, to start working with the creative and website design for our ad campaign. Of course, due to the virus, really all of our state and national conferences that me and Carrie normally attend to get new ideas and to network with other fairs, they were canceled. So we are attending as many of the virtual seminars and meetings as we possibly can to keep us up to date on what's going on. But as of right now, we're still on track, hopefully, to have a full Carolina Classic Fair in 2021. Anybody got any questions?
Okay. Yeah, we were really excited about the drive-through event. I mean, I know we've already briefed you all on that, but I think that was give people a good little teaser for next year's fair. Next item on the update list is the Bowman Gray Stadium Improvements Project. Just want to give you a quick update on that. Last month, at your recommendation, the council approved the construction agreement with Frank L. Bloom, WC Construction Joint Venture, to carry out the improvements to Bowman Gray Stadium at a guaranteed maximum price of a little over $8 million. They are in the facility. They started probably first week of November. They've already demolished 2 of the east side restrooms and already have working on the pads for the new restroom, and I believe also for the new concession stand on the east side. So they are moving quickly. The rain last week certainly didn't help us, but they are moving forward with it. So that's kind of where we stand. This obviously we're in phase 1. The goal is to hopefully have that east side restroom and maybe even the east side concession stand done before the start of racing season, but it's going to be really, really close. We're working on plans to make sure that we do have restroom facilities in place going into racing. Probably going to have some kind of nicer temporary restroom facilities that we'll have in place on the west side of the stadium, because we will move right into demolishing the west side restrooms once the east side facilities are down. And we'll probably keep the east side and the south side concession stands in place before we demolish them. We want to make sure the concession stands are the new ones are in place before we really obviously take down everything else. So they'll be working on that. So they're going to be working on drainage around the racetrack and the football field, and probably when we get more into the spring, they'll be working on the actually resodding the football field. So, but yeah, they're moving very quickly, and we're just glad that we're now actually got work underway in the stadium. So hopefully at some point we can share some pictures with you. Our marketing staff has enlisted the services of a company that's set up a camera there so that they'll be able to show kind of time lapse recount of the work being done. If anybody's ever seen the photography they did when we hired an artist to paint the river otter on the side of the water tank there off of Highway 150, it's the same idea. So we'll be able to show the building's coming down, the building's going up, the top of the football field getting peeled off, put back on. So we're excited about documenting the project in that way. Any questions about the Bowman Gray Stadium project?
This is Manya. I have a question. Are we anticipating that it'll be open for next fall if football resumes?
Manya, yes. I mean, the plan is that the stadium will be ready for us to hold events starting in April with racing. So it's going to definitely be kind of a part in our progress, kind of a project, but we're going to be racing in there. The football field will be done and the sod in place, and hopefully set, in time for football season. The last thing that'll be done, which won't happen until after football season next year, will be the resurfacing of the racetrack.
Oh, okay.
So the football field will be ready to go for football season.
Good. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions?
And I don't know if you mentioned it, but also as part of football, all the red seats are going to be replaced, and they'll all be replaced before the start of the season as well. So that's mainly their season ticket holders, and they'll all have new seats there.
Good point. Good point. Yeah, and to add to that, Robert, thank you. We are doing some work in the field house. We're replacing the HVAC system in the field house. We have issues in the training room and weight room and throughout the building. So it's probably a system that's overdue for replacement. And we're also going to make some updates to the hallway there. Right, if you go on the second level, right outside the entrance to the athletic department, we're going to install some. We're going to replace the carpet with a more of a hardwood type surface and really kind of update that area to really make it even more attractive for folks who are visiting the athletics department.
Will the seating in the stadium be ADA approved with railings and things like that?
Well, right now, we do have handicap accessible platforms throughout the stadium, Billy, and so those will remain in place. There's not going to be any changes to the bowl seating, the bleacher seating. We've got some crack repairs that we're going to do, but there's not any plan to replace any of the bleacher seating. We'll be replacing as Robert mentioned, the seat back chairs that are directly in front of the west press box. And I will say that the restrooms obviously will be ADA compliant, so they were designed in such a way that would allow for that.
Okay, as far as technology, will it be Wi-Fi facility?
No, we've had discussions about that. What we are doing is we're going to install the channels to the ticket boxes to where Winston-Salem State can run fiber to those locations to help with ticket processing, and enable the students to be able to use, I guess, their student cards, that type of thing. So we are allowing to have some infrastructure in place, but as far as making the stadium Wi-Fi, that's not part of the plan. Any other questions? Okay, last item on the update list is Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. Robert? All
righty, yes. Quick update on the fairgrounds. As we mentioned earlier, the ice rink opened November 6th. We have not yet reached the capacity skate of the 90 people, which is good. I think the most we had was this past Saturday. There were 56 skaters in there. So far, no real issues with the mask policy overall. As far as events go, with the latest governor's order, we kind of pushed through the end of the year, end of 2020, we won't have any indoor events, specifically public events here at the facility. There's just no way to do that with that 10 or under successfully, and then just try to figure out picking and choosing which events could work and which won't. So we'll remain closed through at least the end of the year, and hopefully we have some mass vaccines rolling out here early 2021. We have talked with the health department on numerous opportunities where they may be using our facility for some testing purposes or vaccine purposes. That's still in discussion. We finished up our drive-in movies here on October 31st. The Halloween week was the last of the movies. We've had 2 drive-in concerts since then. Had about 500 folks on average to both of those with no issues. Pretty calm crowds, stayed in their parking spaces. So we would consider those a success. And then we're just, any more of the drive-in stuff we're working on is really with some organizations who want to do some Christmas things. We've talked with Christmas for the City, who actually usually uses a convention center. They're talking about a drive-through event. And then I think we're the final stop for the JC's parade, where they're looking at hosting a movie and possibly the Christmas tree lighting out on the midway screen while folks are still in their car. So we'll utilize that space as best we can while the weather is somewhat not awful, and we'll go from there. And then as far as hockey goes and the Thunderbirds, we'll be meeting with them by the end of this week. They are still planning on having a season, so they plan to start December 18th, which is a Friday. That would be their opening night here with no fans. They would be playing in front of just staff, and I'm not sure if that'll change, but we'll know more by the end of this week or probably early December. But the plan is now the league will play with, I think, more than half of their facilities having empty buildings. So we'll see where that goes. Other than that, I think that's it from the fairgrounds perspective.
Okay. Any questions for Robert? Okay, so right now on the schedule, we're showing a meeting in December for December 21st, which is obviously the week of Christmas. We'll just keep you all informed when we start developing the agenda for December as to whether we actually need to hold a meeting. We are in the process of finalizing our first quarter financial statements, so we may want to share those with you before we get to mid-year. Try to give those to you at that time, and we may look to see if what your availability is to perhaps maybe move that meeting up, so we don't have conflicts during that week of Christmas. So but we'll definitely keep you all informed about the calendar for December. Any questions? Any other comments before we adjourn? Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody attending today. And if you have any questions or need any information about any of our facilities, please do not hesitate to contact the staff. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.